Alright, so this video is going to cover just a day in the life of meals, habits, activity. It's probably been about 6 months or so since I've done a day in the life. Some things have changed since I did the show where I was gone for 2 months, got me out of my comfort zone, managed to stay in good physical and mental health by managing stress, documenting what I was doing, and sticking to some positive habits. So I knew I could control my first meal and my last meal, what I was eating in the middle of the day, and drinking, not so much, even drinking 4 to 5 times per week, but learned to manage that and not overdo it. But I have been tracking my food, which has helped a lot, and not obsessive about it, but doing, on days where I'm not lifting as much, I'm doing a little bit lower carbohydrate, and days where I'm active, sticking to higher carbohydrates, or moderate from good sources, things with fiber, introducing more things like oats and blueberries. So come along for the day and we'll go over some of the positive habits that I've been sticking to and having fun with. 38 degrees, I promise you this pool is not heated. Whether it's a dive in the pool or a cold shower, I'm doing something at least to shock myself, get the energy going, usually after moving around a little bit. To warm the body up. Always reminded of how much of a difference it makes to get a good night's sleep. Having a sleep routine, just kind of like a morning routine, same thing, is huge. And waking up before your alarm. I slept great, woke up feeling very energized, so always have a better day, more creative, more energetic, better mood when my energy is better, and I know I can control that with good sleep. Alright, so this has been the first meal that I've been eating for probably close to the last 6 months or so. Especially, I like doing something active first and then having this if I can. But it's almost noon, so I don't have an exact timing. Sometimes it's at 10, 11. But I do like to get a minimum of 12 hours from my last meal to my first meal. Let digestion kind of just do its thing, feel lightly, kind of train my body to utilize fat as energy. And I've been liking how I feel that way. But I've been doing this smoothie. I've just been adding more things to it. So trying to get more soluble fiber in and a way to sneak in some different nutrients. So the base of it's gonna be blueberries, carrots, sneaking some celery. I have been adding, one of these beets, 1 or 2 steamed beets, good for blood flow, very cleansing, lower in sugar, gives some extra fiber. And then the base is gonna be tea, coconut milk, sweeten it up with a little bit of stevia, and I actually crack an egg in it. Got a little protein. Sometimes I mix up the protein. Sometimes I'll use a collagen or a plant-based. This one's cool from Nutrasumma. It's got a blend of different mushrooms in it, including reishi and lion's mane, cordyceps. And then I drink some of it and pour the rest over oats and turn it into enjoyable soaked oat dish. So let's make it. So I start with a base of coconut milk and a blend of teas. Got a metabolism tea, turmeric tea, and then throwing in some of the baby carrots to make it easy. Start with a little bit, but I promise you won't taste them. Some frozen blueberries, the beets, the egg, and some of the vanilla flavored protein, and blend it up. So super big, nutrient-dense smoothie. Again, you don't taste the carrots or the beets. It tastes more like blueberries and vanilla. And then I'm going to take this and pour this over some of the oats. So a little more than a half cup of oats. Going to take this over. Alright, so this has been my go-to meal one, just because it's easy to repeat. I like this added fiber, from the blueberries and the oats, has been keeping me satisfied. If I don't do anything active, sometimes I'll leave the oats out and just do a smoothie until I have a bigger lunch, or if I have a lunch meeting. But I've been liking how my digestion feels, energy feels, and I make it a habit to try to move and break a sweat or do push-ups or something in the morning. It makes me feel better about eating carbs for whatever my first meal is. But again, I like to wait until I've done something active to introduce carbohydrates into my diet. But the shake is very enjoyable. The vanilla really helps a lot. So I think the type of protein you have mixed with something like that stevia and the blueberries makes it enjoyable. But this, instead of a hot oatmeal, this soaked oats, I mean, I only let it sit typically for like 5-10 minutes, but the texture is really good. It's really satisfying, especially with the blueberries in it. And you can even let it sit longer. So if I had to go somewhere, I might take this to go and let it set. It's delicious. I look forward to it. It's easy to repeat and introduces a lot of fiber that's gonna help my blood sugar and manage energy throughout the day. I get a lot of questions about what I do as far as a routine goes, and I like to keep a lot of variety. Typically, I prefer to do some sort of exercise before I have my first meal, but the way today was designed with, you know, clients and a meeting, I just got it in here. But been emphasizing strength, plyometrics, focusing on core, at least hitting squat a couple times per week. But doing things that are fun, a lot of supersetting, probably do weights about 4 times per week, and then circuits, and then some slower stuff, chasing that pump in between. But I constantly am trying to either get faster with certain movements or use a little bit more weight and keep the volume high. But this was about a 30-minute workout. I was in, out, and ready to get on with the day. All right, just got home from the gym and just want to throw together a quick meal. I mean, a shake is optional, but I just had a shake earlier, so I want something with a little more substance. I'm going to throw together some of these tortillas. I had thawed them out, so I feel like I might as well use them. And I had some ground chicken that I had already made. So I'm just gonna throw together some tacos. While those are cooking, I'm gonna throw a sweet potato into the toaster oven and make some sweet potato toast. Just a reminder that it makes it a lot easier to throw together meals if you have stuff that's already prepped up. I always talk about, you know, creating a salad bar in your fridge, you know, so having leafy greens, chopped up veggies, kelp noodles, some broccoli, things like that. You know, sauces that you can just throw together really quick are gonna make meals come together a lot easier. Throwing the tortillas on to heat them up, starting some sweet potato toast. This is just fills in that craving that I have. Super satisfying, doesn't take too long. Throwing in that toaster oven or a toaster. How to turn leafy greens into something cheesy without the cheese. So it's like a healthy cheese. Cool way to make these greens, whether it's spinach or kale, taste like cheese, using the broth as a base. Mixing that with Majestic garlic sauce, which is so freaking good. And some of the nutritional yeast, give it that cheesiness that makes you feel good. Onion powder, pizza seasoning, mix it up, throw it on some tacos or with some chicken, beef, anything you want to satisfy. There's some hot sauce. And then got some extra arugula for side salad, sauerkraut, which is cultured veggies, good for probiotics, lemon juice, flavor insurance, hemp hearts for some fiber, more nutritional yeast, sweet potato toast, put some sunflower butter on it, and that is delicious. So we got second meal of the day complete. Again, I like to mix it up a lot and have fun with food. I think the point of all of this is to show you that you need to find a way to get excited or maybe fascinated with what you're eating, and it becomes fun. But we got the tacos, arugula tossed with the leftover chicken, and the sweet potatoes. So kind of multitask while I was heating things up, but all of that came together in less than 15 minutes. So the cool thing about the tacos is it tastes like there's cheese in it because of the spinach that's kind of sauteed with a little bit of the broth and the nutritional yeast, and that garlic sauce just really brings it together. Adding the onion and the garlic rounds it all out. It might seem a little high maintenance, but it's something that I love and look forward to. If this was on a menu, I would pay $35 for this meal. It's that good. It tastes like dessert with your meal. So this will keep me pretty satisfied. After workout, I don't eat a lot of fat, even though there's a little bit on here. I just focus on a little bit more protein and some carbohydrates to get into my system to help with recovery a little bit quicker. But again, I don't obsess over this. If I'm gonna build a meal around fat, it'll probably be closer to dinner or my first meal of the day would be. So one of my favorite ways to prepare chicken is to steam fry it. So no oil, using tea, which helps break down the chicken, sneak in some extra antioxidants, throw some seasoning like this pizza seasoning, got some cilantro, jalapeno.
Mixing it up. While I'm cooking it, I'm using a wooden spatula to break up the chicken and makes it cook a little bit quicker, plus easier for prep. And now my meal, I'm gonna throw in some coconut aminos, got some kelp noodles, 0 carbs, super satisfying. You add a little bit of heat, chopped up broccoli, some of that chicken, stir it up with some extra seasoning, sunflower butter, so it's kind of like a peanut sauce, more coconut aminos, a little bit of hot sauce, and there we go, delicious. Final meal, I chopped up some sweet potatoes to rice them, makes it cook way quicker, super awesome. Start to cook it without oil, add in some pizza seasoning, prepped it up with some leftover beef that I had and some avocado. So freaking good.